So, the Ayurvedic authors prescribed that we should not eat too hot, warm things and too cool things. And less so, we should alternate the hot and cold things in eating or drinking. And the next thing he advises is, don't walk distances without shoes and without any protection to the head. Let it be a cold climate or a hot climate. Let the climate not affect you directly in the feet and on the top of the head. He says once again that this preserves your eyes and eyesight for a very, very long time. Of course, this we in the Occident inevitably observe. No one goes out without shoes. But in a country like India, we have many people walking on the street without shoes, not because they are poor, but because they are lazy and idle to keep up certain minute things. Another thing he gives us is about eating. Along with the maintaining the timings, you maintaining the quantity and quality of food. He says, let there be no difference in the bloating of the stomach before eating and after eating. For a healthy constitution, there will not be a difference in the volume of the stomach before and after eating. And only after we begin to eat lots and lots and drinking beer with big liters, then the stomach becomes elastic and the contents begin to hang. And the stomach begins to breathe and the lungs begin to breathe less and less. So he says, let there be no difference in the bloating of the stomach. And he says, you should be able to laugh. If necessary, you should be able to cough, or you should be able to shout, or you should be able to conduct happy conversations and walk after a meal as easily as you can do before your meal. To maintain this, you are always expected to take a walk after meal. This is one thing he advises. And he says, let the sleep hours not be disturbed. Let there be a regularity in maintaining the hours of sleep. And then your attitude towards the neighbors goes a long way in maintaining your health. As you cause ease and comfort to others that are there around you, the attempt to produce the ease and comfort in others purifies your etheric body and regulates its streams of forces. And at the same time, the ease you have produced and the joy you have produced in others will be presented to you back by way of good thought forms and goodwill by others. The goodwill you have from others is directly responsible for your longevity and well-being up to 20%. The more you burst out upon others, including your wife and children, and the neighbors and your subordinates in the office, that not only produces explosions in your subtle body, but it produces a hostile attitude in others. And the thought forms that you induce in others' minds will haunt you and torture you day and night. in the form of anxiety and psychosomatic activity. You will grow more and more nervous when you are a nuisance to others. This is one wonderful thing that the Ayurvedic text advises. And another remarkable thing is, make it a habit to greet people with smile as you go in the street. This is the one wonderful virtue we find among the Occidents. And in countries like India, we find something awful about this. They are as bad as the Britishers. There will be a shell of tension around the etheric body of the Indian citizen, just as you find it in the case of a Britisher. Instinctively, he is not inclined to greet others unless introduced by someone to others. In this respect, Indians have much to learn from the Occident, and I wish you Occidents do not lose this capacity to greet and smile, because it is considered to be one of the invaluable treasures of human kingdom which preserves health. And the habit of greeting, according to Ayurveda, will produce 4 effects. One is, it makes you live up to your full span. And the second one is, you are inclined to receive instinctively wisdom from mysterious sources. You may read big books or may not read books. You will get whatever you want directly to your mind through any source. And also, you will have what he calls vital strength. That is due to the compactness of the etheric body. That is because you grow more and more awakened and aware into the cells of the etheric body. So to say, the tissues are more kindled and lighted by your presence. That is what he says. And the 4th one he promises us is what we call goodwill. These 4 things are promised to you as long as you keep up the habit of greeting others and smiling first. This part of the Ayurvedic principle is so famous in Sanskrit literature that the poets who are not Ayurvedic authors, when they describe certain heroes, they take it a pride to describe this quality for their hero. For example, you know the great scripture called Ramayana, the story of Rama. When Rama was described as an young prince in his teenagers, he is described as smiling to others first before the others smiled. And he just greeted others before the others greeted him. If poets described like that, means it was considered to be a great ideal in those days. Also, it is advised that don't spend time during nights when you are not familiar with the environment. And if possible, don't use yogurt during night. During daytime, that is in lunch, you are permitted to eat yogurt and potatoes, but not in the supper. These are by way of examples I give you. and also the art of equalizing the breathing is recommended. It is called pranayama, which is also described in the yoga books. But there are many false notions about what the yogic scientists say pranayama. If you go through the passages given by the Dwarkul Tibetan master about breathing exercises in his works, you see how he point blank criticizes the various pranayamas prescribed by the yogic authors. The real yogic authors are not properly understood by the various instructors of pranayama, and the result is that we are and without any anxiety. In that way, go on taking the breath or inhaling until the person in your lungs say enough. Then you don't inhale, stop it there. Don't force more air because you have to count 2 more, because he knows more than what you know. And then begin to exhale in the same way, slow, soft and uniform. And go on doing it slowly until your friend inside says stop. He is the real guru and not the professional yoga teachers. Consult the guru who is in you, who is making you breathe every moment. Again repeat the same experiment. Slowly breathe in and slowly breathe out. And do it for 3 times at first. You will feel something inconvenient, because order is being once again established in the midst of disaster. And after a few days you will be able to take 5 or 6 or 7 breaths continuously. And within a maximum period of 1 year, you will be able to re-establish the rhythm which you have lost, so that you respire as rhythmically as a child of healthy parents does. And this you can achieve only when you observe the regularity in daily routine. Unless you establish rhythm in the movements of the 24 hours program, it is as useless for you as it is impossible to try for the rhythm to be established in your respiration. Unless you are mentally regular, unless you are mentally rhythmic and musical, you can never force your respiration to become rhythmic and musical. From the other end, that is the daily routine and the regularity of certain items in your life. Have at least 3 or 4 items of your daily routine fixed up to the hour and minute, and fixed up to the same place. Then you will be able to establish your mental polygon in the clock of 24 hours. Only when you are capable of establishing this mental polygon, you will be able to understand what music is in your respiration. Then only you will realize that pranayama is a pleasure and not a torture. You will have the experience of the happiest touch through your respiration. And this is prescribed in the Ayurveda books also. Of course, this is by way of some examples in the ocean of the science of Ayurveda. And to put our it is possible sometime next year or the next year to have 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 lectures as a course with a syllabus. We will be able to taste what the Ayurvedic system and its thought is. And I thank you all for the interest you have shown and the rapt attention you have. And for this year, I take leave of you in Geneva.